Hello. Hello, everyone. Just fixing my mic. Let's see how we look. I think we're looking good. Very well. Hello, everyone. And it's Monday, 8 o'clock. It's time for the Late Smoke with me, Ray. And this is the episode 35. All right. Let's see who's joining. There we go. Right. Until we're waiting people to join, I'm gonna let you know what I'm smoking. And today will be a little bit strange, maybe controversial for someone. I decided to go for something very weird. I haven't smoked it in many years, and this is Toscano Classico. So it's a pack. I know it's at least 10-15 years old. First cigar out of it. Yeah, why I say controversial? I don't know if you guys familiar with the Toscanos. Lots of people doesn't consider them as a cigars. For me, they are absolutely fine smokes. They smell a little bit weird, but that's because of the fire cured tobacco, which I don't mind. But yeah, there's lots of people think those are not classes of cigars. They are more of a cigarillos. I think they're proper cigars. Wrapper, binder, no binder, wrapper and filler. Used the technology who make those. I mean, not the technology. The process to making those is using a fire cured tobacco, which been the story with the fire cured tobacco started probably about 200 years ago, when by accident some people left some Kentucky tobacco on the rain, and the only way to dry it is with fire curing. Is there a chance we change my choice? What's wrong with that one? It's a spaghetti western cigars. What's wrong? I mean, come on. Why not? I mean, I like to smoke different stuff, and on the camera, I mean, I should list a poll. What should I smoke? No, I'm gonna smoke the Toscano. Life is short, so short. Yes, but I like those. I don't know what's wrong with them. Again, that's why I say controversial. Um, I remember I like those, and I don't mind fire cured cigars. Yeah, the aroma is the cold draw is nice. I like that barbecuing cigars. Why do you wanna? Why do you want me to change it? I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna smoke that one. I mean, regardless of what you want. Um, I was literally having plans to smoke this cigar for I don't know, week or so. I never found the right time, and there we go. Today on the live, Toscano Classico. Not gonna cut it on half. It's a nice ring gauge, like a Lancero. Think about 35, 38. It's probably around 6.5, 7 inches. So I would imagine this is a Lancero, which looks like Lancero. There we go. Thank you. Nothing wrong with Toscanos. There we go. I knew there will be people who doesn't mind. And again, I don't want the show to be only smoking the most fancy, expensive, crazy cigars. Sometimes, yes, I smoke stuff like that. And to be honest, my schedule of my smokes will be very busy in the next month. I literally came back from Austria yesterday with about 60 cigars, which I need to smoke for the cigar journal. So almost inclusive, I will smoke a blind for the cigar journal. I start today. This will be one of the rarest occasions in the next few weeks where I'm gonna smoke a cigar which I know what is it. So why not? Honest, the cigar tastes so good. It's perfect draw. Um, Nice aromas, very barbecuing, charcoaly. That kind of stuff is like a little bit of like a peated whiskey. that smokiness, which is good. And that's why I'm gonna have a little bit of peaty whiskey as well. There we go. So what you all smoking, guys? What's the choice tonight for all of you? I mean, come on, Nadir, tell me what you're smoking. Is it a little fermented? Well, it's a cured fire cured tobacco. Yes, the way they ferment it is a little bit different than the. I'll start yawning, guys. I mean, as usual, I haven't yawned all day, and I'm waiting for the show to start so I can yawn and I can show you how much I want to sleep, which is not true. So yeah, it was a different way of fermenting tobacco in Italy. This is a typical style of cigars. There are a few different Toscano, Toscanellos, all kind of different stuff. This one specifically is very famous with in the back. Lots of famous people smoke those ones. Clint Eastwood, of course, all the spaghetti westerns movies. A bunch of other people, Sean Connery, etc. So as Tim mentioned, there's a brand called Marzio. That's the same company, just making a proper interesting style cigars. What you're smoking? They're smoking La Duena. Okay, La Duena is good. I love La Duena. Amazing cigar made by Yanni Garcia, my father, P. Johnson, Jaime. Lots of people involved in that one. It's a beautiful cigar. Dexter says it's too hot in Dallas, 90 degrees. I don't know what's that in Celsius. I reckon it's hot. Mild and light, Ashton Cabernet Toro. I don't think I remember that one. La Dueña Lonsdale, nice. Mi Amor by my father. I reckon La Roma. No, what's Mi Amor? My father, Mi Amor. I don't know. I can't remember what was Mi Amor. Um, Andrew says, you don't mind that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Um, Hermit is on a Peric blend, pipe blend. Inca Secret Blend from Anatoly. Nice. La Roma de Cuba Abdu. Yeah, it's good selection. Good selection of different cigars. I like Inca is a good smoke. La Roma de Cuba is a classic as usual. Yeah, La Dueña. Beautiful, beautiful smokes. Beautiful smokes. So yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of fire cured. And Nadir says nice choice for Dexter. He wants me to change mine. Well, okay, the ash start dropping everywhere. It's not ideal, but it's actually really nice. I've smoked some of the smaller ones, Toscaneros. They were good, but this is even better. I like it. Okay, so I think that will be on my smoke tonight. So weather is very very hot, guys. It's been so warm in the last few days. Even in Austria was ridiculously hot last weekend. The Big Smoke Austria was, as usual, great event, phenomenal people, lots of new friends, lots of interesting smokes, lots of chat, lots of rumors. Um, yeah, I have a great time in Austria last 4 days. Now we're back to normal. We're back to the usual stuff. I'm in UK. The next few weeks, I have a bunch of events in UK, so I'll be around. Okay. Saying let's move on to the little bit of the news section. There's not massive interesting news this week, but there's a few stuff I want to mention, and then I'm gonna go towards some of the cigars I prepared for you tonight. For my selection, as I promised last week, we're gonna talk for one of the biggest brands in the world, which is, of course, we're now moving to the letter D, and there's a few boutiques, and there's a very very big brand. The retro hair on this cigar is very, very interesting. It's like grilled meat. I mean, I know it's smoked, but when it's in the mouth, it's just like a smoke. It doesn't taste any meaty or anything. But when you retro, They give you that literally like I put my nose into the grill steak or anything like that. Really nice. I hope there's no vegetarians or vegans around us tonight. They will wonder what this guy's smelling. Unfortunately, I cannot explain it better. Right. So, um, first of the news I want to talk and I want to mention the cigar accessory company Peter James announced they will stop making cigar cases. Um, that was a weird news for me when I read it. Because Peter James, for me, always been associated with leather pouches, leather cases. I know maybe they're more towards on the more expensive price, but it depends, of course, what you want to spend. But I reckon for the money they were offering the cases, you can buy two decent cases, maybe even three. So I put them as a more towards the more of a luxurious and fancy ones. I cannot stop yawning. I don't know what's happened with me. Um, Let me have some water. Maybe that might help. So Peter James decided to stop making any cases, which is a very interesting because, as I mentioned, I think Peter James was always for me was associated with the cigar case company. I know they recently we were talking about in some of the previous shows. They're releasing some sealed, humidified pack, which I still am not sure why they did it. Also, they partnership with a bunch of people to make cigars. I've smoked few of their cigars. I'm not overly impressed, to be honest. Like why they should be on the market, no idea. I mean, maybe if you're still making the cigar cases, make the cigars on the side. But if you stop making the cigar cases and you stay with those hydro ziplocs, pouches, whatever, and the cigars only, I don't know. It's like Coca-Cola, stop making Coca-Cola and continue making Fanta, Sprite, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Something like that. Maybe they will come with something new, which I doubt. Um, I know in some of their latest releases, the cases go close to $1,000, which is lots for a leather case. Doesn't matter what kind of leather you're using. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they're gonna bring. There's not much of a um, not much of information why they stopped doing it. I was just reading more to see if I can find more information, but no. So time will show. Um, Moving to the next little piece of news. There was information coming from Croatia that they decide to increase their price of the duty for the tobacco products. Of course, Croatia is not even close to some of the other countries around the world. They they're increasing the prices on all the tobacco related products, including cigarettes, cigars, vapes, whatever. Um, so the tobacco products which include cigars and which is our topic will be on the duty. I mean, obviously it's on a kilogram, and they increase the tax from 120 euro to from 115 to 120 euro per kilogram, which is like 6 euro on kilogram. Cigar wise, 10-15 grams cigars like a robustus, you can see that it won't be massive impact. um, 6 euro increase overall, 60 cents on a cigar, 60 to 80 cents, maybe a euro, 1 euro difference on a cigar is not much, is not massive. So not even 60. My maths is bad. 6 cents to 8 cents on a duty, 10 cents. It's not much. So this was The news coming from Croatia. Why I mentioned this one? I mean, obviously, I try to follow all those legislations, but also to make the people aware that more and more countries start raising the prices. I have read something in the weekend which I discussed with some of my friends in Austria, that the European Parliament or European Commission or something like that, they discussing to raise the tobacco taxes around Europe in like 15, 16 different countries, so most likely the whole European Union. Uh, they are looking to increase the tax with over 1,000%, which will be killing the industry basically. That will close lots of markets and lots of countries for cigars. We'll see. They still discussing. They're still negotiating. Abdu asking was the UK tax on the cigars per kilogram, something in range of about £400 per kilogram, plus VAT. So I mean, you see the tax is significantly higher than the Croatia, for example. We're like 4 times more expensive than Croatia, the tax. But if the European Union decide to put the prices up for the cigars over 1,000%, I mean, UK cigars will be cheap compared to some of the other countries. I'll tell you that. This is not 100%. This is over 1,000%. The information came from some of the political blocs, so they're not like BBC, CNN, Associated Press or anything, but most of the stuff they're saying, they basically follow lots of legislation, lots of political figures. So I hope they will not vote that, because I spoke with a bunch of people in Austria, and the problem Europe can face if they, let's say, they ban the tobacco smoking, and this is probably the only thing which still keeping the European Parliament not to completely ban the cigar smoking. If they stop at all the cigar smoking, that means lots of people in South America, in Central America, will be without a job. I mean, all those factories. I know some of the producers doesn't. I mean, most of the producers doesn't export lots to Europe, but there's still quite a lot cigars going to Europe. I mean, overall, I would say maybe, I don't know, 30-40% of overall all the cigars ended in Europe. And there's a lots of initiatives from the European Parliament and the European Union that they send in money to the third world countries for different initiatives, for different programs to keep the people employed. And if they ban the tobacco, that will make those people unemployed. So it doesn't literally work for them. Why they sending billions to those countries if you're gonna stop something which make them employed? So that's a little bit controversial here. I spoke with people who are into the cigar smoking commissions and stuff like that in the European Union, and they say this is one of the benefits we have on our side, because this is the whole massive industries in those countries. You don't want to stop something where you've basically funded, because they don't fund directly the cigar factories, but they fund those countries to have work, education, and stuff like that. And stopping, make them unemployed, that's not going to help. So that's the funny thing what I found out. Also, the main target now in Nicaragua is to certify the tobacco rolling procedure on making cigars as a national heritage. So that's been done in Honduras about 6-7 years ago. It's been done in Dominican Republic 2-3 years ago, but they're smaller compared to Nicaragua. If that is done to Nicaragua, so what that means, if you make it as a national heritage or whatever, the local parliament need to vote that this is being part of the indigenous culture in the country, and then this when it's voted and when it's agreed that okay, this is part of the identity of the country, that goes straight to UNESCO, and UNESCO is a organization where basically if they say something is national culture treasure, protected, usually no one can touch it. So if they say they certify the in Honduras, cigar rolling is a national, it's a national treasure, it's a heritage. They did it in Dominican Republic. If they do it in Nicaragua as well, that's way more much freedom. Even if Europe tried to ban the smoking, still it will be a bit of a dilemma. Okay, is he if it's that bad, why is a national treasure, whatever? So um, there's still hopes on that side. The problem is Nicaraguan government is a bit weird at the moment. It's more of a dictatorship, so I don't know if they care about that. Um, they should be, but who knows? With those type of people, you don't know every time what's in their mind. Hermit says, even if we're not part of the EU, our government might well follow the suit. Yes, but we can always don't follow. I mean, we can follow, but we can decide not to follow. So, depend of the lobbying here, depending on who's on power, they might decide not to pursue the same way as what they do in some other countries. Now, this is a good point that in YouTube, banning some of the reviewers like Cigar Obsession and etc. etc. And there's other YouTubers which smoke in marijuana when they're on the live broadcast. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, I think whatever industry pay the bill, that will be important. I mean, now cigars are not that popular. Obviously, all those marijuana in different countries, legislations. That's why YouTube follow that suit. I mean, there's a bunch of other people not in our industry where you see there's something trendy about specific medicine, specific I don't know, body modification, operation, or whatever, and they don't mind showing those. And in the meantime, you cannot do quite simple other stuff. So I don't know. YouTube is YouTube. I don't think that will change. They easily can show some stupid stuff happening, but they cannot. They don't allow people smoking cigars. Um, I don't think they will change. Mm, it's just the only way they can probably change something is to add more protection. Maybe add like uh, they still have it like 18 years. You need to be 18 plus to watch specific stuff. For the cigars, is not the case because I know there's you can still watch cigar related stuff if you're under 18. If the guy who created the video didn't mention that the video is made for 18 and above, like the video I'm making now. So before every live, I need to put in the tick that the video is not made for 18 under 18. Even if we didn't say anything dangerous or whatever, is the fact that I just smoke live. Maybe that's the only way I can do it. This is a great cigar. It's really, really nice. I don't know why I don't smoke those more often. Hmm, very nice. So we're moving away from these legislations. Again, there's a lots of discussions here. I try to update you of what I heard, what I read, what I talk with other people. The last piece of news today, it's just a mentioning. This is the Cohiba versus Cohiba lawsuit in the states. General now tried to oppose the decision that it wasn't in their favor, so they appeals the ruling of the Cohiba. As their main argument is they still follow the lead that they didn't know of existing of the Cuban Cohiba when they created the non-Cuban one. That's why they didn't um, choose the same colors, the same logo. So the American Cohiba logo is basically an O with a red dot in the middle, red and black and white, nothing to do with the gold and yellow and the other colors of the Cubans. I hope they wouldn't allow them to do that. But who knows? In America, everything is possible, especially for the American companies. So those are the few news I want to talk about. I mean, the Cohiba, I just want to mention that they won't stop fighting. There will be probably quite a long time will pass until we actually find out what's going to happen. I don't think this will be solved and fixed in the next year, maybe more. It will take time. As someone mentioned, the simple thing is just don't use the name. I mean, I don't know why they're trying to object, but everyone in the comments, everyone in the forum says most likely Cohiba will lose that one. They just need probably to start accepting it and maybe prepare to change the name overnight, unless they want to pay serious fees and penalties or whatever charges. Right. Not much of a comments from you guys, but again, there's not much of a happy news happening this week. It's just a few nonsense registration stuff as usual. But I will move into cigar section, and I will show you what I have here, what I prepared for you tonight. So I will start with a cigar which I don't really know much about it. I think it's Adnan asked me if it's worried about the future cigar prices, should be stocking up now. Well, there's no actually right answer on this one. I always say smoke the cigars when you buy them. Don't buy to age if you want to improve the flavors and aromas. But if we're talking about pricings, and you think in your favorite cigars will get more expensive, they always will be more expensive. So I don't believe any cigar, any brand will sell cheaper next year this time than what's now. I don't know what need to happen. I just don't see it. I don't know if there's much products which will be cheaper next year than now. I mean, bourbon, rum, cigars, whiskey, everything I think will be more expensive than what's now. So if you have the opportunity to stock, and if you especially find your favorite cigars on a good price, yeah, stock. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have the conditions to store the cigars, if you have the humidors, the humidity, and everything, yeah, why not? I mean, buy now because in the future, who knows? They might ban cigars in some country. The prices might go crazy. So yeah, Epicurean, hi. Jacoba too asked me, do I think there will be a point where people stop buying? Stop buying at all? No, I don't think so. I don't think this is in the picture. Even if they completely ban smoking somewhere, I think people will still buy going abroad and buying and if you see they actually the governments, they actually not trying to stop you buying. They try to limit you smoking. So in your own house, I don't think anyone can tell you what to do. So if you can still have an option in some random country to go and buy 50 cigars, 200, yeah, you can go and buy. too expensive. Even now it's too expensive. I remember buying Cuiva Robusto for £15. Now Cuiva Robusto is £65. Yeah, I don't buy that. But there's other options. The other cigars which I buy, um, I don't think overall the whole world will go to massively super expensive prices. I mean, there still will be countries which cigars are cheap, still countries which doesn't care much about some laws and stuff. America obviously always will be, there will be states which are super cheap, and even if it's to the point where it's mega mega expensive, I'm sure sometimes people go for holidays abroad and buy cigars. So there will be more and more of those excursions or trips, if I can call it that way, where you go to a random country for a day, especially if it's in a couple hours travel. You just stock up, come back, maybe do it again next week or something. There's a people who do it now. I know people who do it, and I've seen people coming with way much more cigars over the limit. They take the risk. I mean, maybe they will get stopped by customs, maybe not. If you're happy to take the risk and get charged, you can do it. I wouldn't advise it. I mean, I've seen some people, what they've been paying for that kind of stuff. But even if it's too expensive, people will still buy it. There's a people with money. Maybe not the overall Joe, the normal person like myself, as some of you, probably all of you guys. But there always will be a bunch of rich people which will continue buying. And also, my question here is probably towards the gentleman who's asked me. Do you think if, let's say, I don't know how many cigars, so Jacob Tube, I still don't know how to pronounce the name, Jacob Tube or something. Um, how many cigars you smoke per week now with the current prices? I don't know where you're based. With whatever you're based, how many is your regular smoking at the moment? If you can just throw your random number. I mean, again, this is just will follow English, Jacob. Right, Jacob. Nice. Nice to meet you. Okay. In UK, I presume you live in UK. How many cigars you smoke a week? Again, this is not a question which I just wants to get an answer so I can give you another question after that. Hard to say. Smoke outside in Sweden. Okay, it's cold. 2, 3 a day for 2 months. Okay, let's say you smoke 2 a day. This is 14, 15 cigars a week. Do you think if the prices, I know Sweden is not cheap as well. If you do think if the prices now reduced on half, let's say you buy, I don't know, a cigar for €20. If they reduce the price on €10, would you smoke more? That's my question. And if you do you think even if the prices go even lower, would you smoke more? Um, okay, how much more would you smoke? Because 2 a day is a good number. I can smoke pretty much like, I mean, I work from home. I work from my office. Obviously, sometimes travel, etc. I most of the times I can't smoke more than 2, 3 a day. I just don't have the time. I mean, I don't think there's a lots of people who can smoke like more than 2, 3, 4, even 5 cigars a day. This is like 6, 7, 8 hours smoking time, unless you're, I mean, super quick smoker and you do like Toro for like super quick. Yeah, but some days I smoke 5 as well. I mean, in Austria I smoke like 10 cigars a day, but this is because it's not every day. And 5 a day, that means I literally have absolutely nothing to do. Even if I still have nothing to do, I do some stuff with my family, and I still can't smoke 5 a day. 5 a day for me, it's a proper cigar event or something like that, where I'm spending like 5, 6 hours just on smoking, talking, and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Lots of people asking cigars to be cheap, but I don't think lots of people can actually smoke more. I mean, I know it's not cheap to smoke now. I mean, even smoke 2, 3 cigars a day. Um, but it's a good amount. Robusto 40, 45 minutes. So I would say you're a relatively quick smoker. For me, Robusto is over an hour usually. So, okay. I don't know. It was just a question which came on mind again. In my opinion, if you smoke at least 1, 2 cigars a day, it's expensive, but I don't think you will buy much more if the cigars are cheaper. Maybe you buy more expensive cigars and smoke more expensive cigars, but who knows? Um, Adnan wants to stock up for retirement and he's 40 now. Hey, look, the way I made my collection, so I started building this collection less than 10 years ago. Because I came in England with nothing. I didn't have any cigars with me when I come here. The first years I didn't buy into collect. I just can't afford it. Um, but when I have some obviously spare money, I can spare for my hobbies and passions and stuff like that. I'm not a guy who go and party heavy, drink like crazy, so I decide to buy cigars. And I always say, if you want to build a collection, if you want to start something like that, you buy more than what you smoke. This is my biggest advice. If you can, of course. I mean, if you can't, there's nothing much you can do. You buy to smoke. But if you want to build a collection, especially smoke um, after have after cigars for your retiring. I mean, if you smoke 5 a week, that's like 20 cigars a month. Okay, this month you buy 40 cigars. You know you're not going to smoke all of them. You're going to smoke 20. The rest 20 go in your collection, or even buy more. And this is the easiest way to build collection. Of course, if you have way to buy them, because I mean it's not cheap. Um, yeah, Jacob says you will smoke more expensive cigars. Even I don't think I will smoke much more expensive cigars, even if I have like unlimited resources or the cigars are cheap. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't smoke Sigma Six all the time, or Talismans, or Beakers. Jacob have 2,000 cigars. Well done. It's a pretty decent collection, and well, I can't find most of mine anymore. That's one thing where back to Adnan's question to stock. If you have a cigar which you like, maybe stock up on that one. Don't just go and buy everything you can see, because maybe some of those won't be good to smoke. Buy the cigars you like, because they might stop existing in some point. But also that not guarantee the cigar will be very good in future. So it's there's no right or wrong answer here. I can go on the both sides of the side, on the both side of the coin, and say why shouldn't. Um, Hermit is a good point. You have a large pipe tobacco seller, so always buy more than what you smoke. Yeah, buying one tin, smoke two, smoking and two in the cellar. That's a very very nice one. I mean, uh, there we go, 12 to 15 kilograms pipe tobacco. I think this is decent amount. 12 kilogram. Whoa, one tin is 50 grams. That's pretty impressive. What's in a kilogram? 50 tins? No, 20 tins. 20 tins in a kilogram. Well done. It's a massive amount of tobacco. Some will their flavor agree. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing where we can go with the pros. Why we shouldn't build up collection and buying just random cigars, because you buy and if you don't know how they age, you just buy cigars which you don't enjoy. So even now, I have that with some of my cigars. I mean, I know they're old, but they're a long time gone. I don't believe they will come back. Yeah, I smoke them. Obviously, I bought them in some moment. They don't age well. They're not worth collecting. This Tuscano is lovely. This one, I'm happy I have four more. It's a great size. Right. Um, I'm happy with the discussion we happen here, what we should buy, but I think you can agree that there's no right or wrong here. Should I buy now or should I wait? It's personal. If I tell you buy now and in like you start buying cigars and they not move in the next 2 years, you will say, hey, this guy says buy now because for some reasons. I don't know. What I'm doing now, I already have the collection. I will give you my honest opinion. What I'm doing now, when I go abroad. So I came back from Austria with about 40 cigars. Um, I bought in the shop um, two singles from one of the types, just because I like the cigar in the past. I don't have it. I saw two Lanceros in one of the shop. I said, okay, I'll buy two. They wasn't expensive at all. I can easily buy the box, but the problem is, those two cigars I bought, I don't think I'm gonna smoke them in the next. If I buy the box, well, 20 cigars, it will take me 20 years to smoke them. I don't think I might not be alive for 20 years, so that's why I didn't buy more than two. I usually buy between two, three, maybe five if it's like a very big deal. What also I bought, I mean, I have a bunch of cigars which I get from friends, but I bought two boxes with tatuajes, which are not made anymore, and I found them in a small shop in Austria. Two boxes, sealed boxes from 2019. So tatuaje put the date codes on the boxes. I was like, price is okay, but I like the cigar a lot, and I couldn't believe I found some full boxes. That's why I bought them. They will last me a lot, so most likely I wouldn't keep them all for myself. I will probably share it with friends. I will organize some couple of smoking events in the next few months within the summer with some of my friends. So I'm going to open the boxes and I'll be like, yeah, let's go, let's share the box. It's a nice find. Best ways to share it with friends. So I'll probably keep for myself like 5 or 10 of those, and the rest will be shared with the friends in the next couple months. So that was, I can in the shops. I can, Austria is quite cheap. I can buy plenty of cigars. So I got a few people with me. Cigar allowance was nice number, so I can buy more boxes. It's just I don't see the point. So that's what I did last weekend. I very rarely buy bigger amounts from the same cigar because obviously it will take me ages for me. But I'm a different type smoker. Um, Maybe for you, if you smoke only two or three types of cigars, yeah, every time you go and buy one or two boxes. Um, yeah, don't panic buy. That's a very very good advice from Hermit. Don't do panic buy. Hey, I've heard that will happen. I'm going and buying everything. No, I'm thinking you can find something else which would be good enough for you. Um, yeah, Jacob says buying two is a good option. Yeah, I usually when it's a cigar scene for first time, you always buy two or three, so I can have one which might not be good. The second one I hope to be good. Um, right, you can guys keep chatting in the chat. Don't worry, I'm gonna start showing you some of the cigars in my collection. Um, and S and question buying boxes. Any views on the best LCDH in Europe? Heard more places won't sell boxes. I very rarely go to LCDH shops. Even to say I almost don't go there. I don't need anything from the LCDH shops, and that's why I don't go there. I maybe the guys in the chat. I mean, we have a bunch of people from different countries. Maybe they can throw some more view on that one, because honestly, I have no clue. Where to buy boxes? I know in UK LCDH is a pretty good stock, but the prices are expensive. I don't know where you're based. In UK, we have three LCDHs: one in Scotland, one in Chester, one in London in Terryton. And they all have pretty decent stock of fancy stuff, even some expensive limitadas, etc. They sell by boxes, no problem. But again, prices are different. In Europe, mm, I don't really know. Jacob says in Sweden the same thing. You can buy, but they're expensive. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't really can answer on that question. Yeah. Well, if you guys can suggest any good LCDH in Europe, do it. Maybe in Gibraltar, Andorra. I know the prices are cheap there, but I'm not after the Cubans anymore. The first cigar brand I want to talk tonight, it's called Ormond Cigar Company. I have only one cigar from this brand. I remember I used to have another one not long ago, but I smoke it. Nice, cool, with the letters D and S, and on the bottom says Ormond Cigar Company. This is a like a bellicoso pyramid style, more of a pyramid. I don't think this is cigar made for like a mass production. Maybe it's a shop exclusive. Even the band look like it's been cut off from a bigger piece. You know how you have those dots which connect different pieces of paper. Mm, it looks like being printed on some paper. It's not like made from some of the cigar bands company. Cigar look pretty a little bit loose. There's a massive crack even on the back. You know, I like to collect weird stuff. Not much of information on that one. No idea where is it, who made them. I tried to research, didn't find anything on that. So, yep, I just have it in my collection. Decide to show it to you guys. Right. I just enjoy my Toscano. Very nice cigar. I'm trying to remove the band. There we go. Slide nicely. Um, this says it's about 45 minutes smoke, so I'm already 45 minutes in the chat, and the cigar is not even halfway. So I knew I should start earlier. But which Toscano? I think it's the Classico. This is the box Toscano Classico. It's a long size, about 7 inch. I just opened the box, so this is how they look. Italian flag band. I know there are a bunch of different ones. So this is the proper Kentucky cured one. I think the box is something around 2005, 2007. So about 20 years old, maybe less than that. But great smoke. And those don't need to be stored in the humidor. Obviously, that being in the humidor, but no, I just keep all my cigars there. It's not like for any other reason. And it's a great tobacco cured cigar, you know, Kentucky style. And I like those. And the size is super cool. You know, it's like you can proper do it keeping in your mouth and talking, not have any problems. Not like some big 60 ring gauge. I mean, earlier I smoked 60 ring gauge. It was a beautiful, beautiful smoke, guys. Amazing taste, everything. It's just the size is a little bit uncomfortable. Obviously, I have no idea what I smoked because it was on a blind taste, but it was so beautiful. Um, I have a Drama whiskey, Talisker Distiller's Edition. I keep these whiskeys on my desk in the last few weeks, so I was like, this would be a nice option. Um, a little bit of peatiness with the fire cure. It's nice, nice smoked bump. I don't have another question. When choosing a box of cigars from a shop, should I choose a darker version or the same cigar? Usually, it shouldn't be a different. If we're talking about the Cubans, because the non-Cubans very rarely there's a difference in the color. They're usually around the same color. The Cubans have seen massive, drastic difference, especially in like Hoyos. Kedur said, I remember Kedur says have a massive difference in one of the cigars. The darker version shouldn't be the better one. I know some people say it's better, but it shouldn't be. Maybe the human eye accept it better when they look darker. They look more attractive. You know, just when you see pale cigar and a darker, you always think the tastier will be the darker. Some people think it will be the stronger. If it's the same cigar, it shouldn't be. Obviously, if you have natural and Maduro option, like let's say Padron, they are very different cigars. So in this case, you choose whatever you like. If you like the strength, go with Maduro. If you like more milder, go for the natural. Um, But if you see the same type of cigar on different colors, I don't think it's any difference. For example, again, maybe if I see Oyu de Nicaragua, and if you say I will want to buy a box, because I usually don't want to buy a box of Oyu de Nicaragua, Oyu de Monterrey, not Oyu de Nicaragua, Oyu de Monterrey, maybe the lighter one will be more appealing for me, because I always associate Oyu de Monterrey with the mild light, very, very light smoke. And if I took a darker one, it might not look actually real. On the other side, if I have Partagas, I would probably prefer to get the darker one. I always associate Partagas with that punch and strength. Um it's personal. I don't think it should be any difference again. The next cigar brand I want to talk about. I just have only one cigar, of course. One of those brands where I try a few. I've never been overly impressed, and this is a cigar brand called Dale or Dalai. I don't know how you can pronounce that one. Simple band which says Dale. Um, there's the line size on the side, so this is a nice box press Toro, about 54 engage. So Dale, as far as I know, it's a German, one of the German retailers brand, started in Germany probably about 25, 30 years ago. The guy who used to own some of the Cuban LCDH shops used to be Habanos distributor, retailer, and start making cigars in Nicaragua. Um, there are a bunch of different lines. I know he have some more expensive, more fancy ones. Um, I'm not massively impressed. I smoked probably in overall 5 or 6 different Dalays. I used to buy quite a lot of cigars from Germany, and maybe that was the period when I was buying those. It's okay. I don't think this was specifically expensive. This one, I think actually this was made in Dominican Republic. I know he have Nicaraguan, but yeah, I mean, I knew someone will ask me that. So Epicurian asked me about the Dalai Istanbul, which have a fire cured Turkish tobacco. I haven't tried. I haven't tried. Maybe if I see it somewhere, I will buy it. I think the owner of the company is with the Turkish background. That's why he want to pay respect for his roots, and he released the Dalai Istanbul, which is obviously using Turkish tobacco. But it's one of the cigars I would like to buy. So yeah, um, right. Next one, the next brand, it's slightly more famous than those two, and this is Dapper Cigars. Dapper Cigars started about 2013 by Ian Wright, a lovely gentleman who I have the opportunity to chat a few times. A very interesting person who I believe he started the brand at the beginning just to make cigars for himself and a bunch of friends. I have for you 3 different lines of Dapper here. He do some really decent cigars. I recently even smoked a flavored cigar from Dapper, which was called First Class or Working Class or something like that. It was a very small Corona Panatella. It was actually flavored, infused, sweet. I didn't know they're making, but they apparently do stuff like that. So what I have here, actually one of the best looking bands on the cigars. I have, honestly, first time I saw this cigar on internet, I'll show you the one. I was searching everywhere. I was so crazy. I want to know the name. I like so much the band that it take me ages to asking friends and people what's the name on this cigar. So this one here, it's called La Madrina. The band is beautiful. This golden black band with the skeleton hunt and rose. I love it. And then obviously I found out what's the cigar. I bought most of them. They do Maduro Natural Connecticut now. Beautiful cigars. The other one I want to show you, it's very unusual. That's the Kubo. That's what they call it, the Kubo. Nice band as well. This is the Sumatra example. I think they do as well Maduro and a few other options. This one is a unusual one. and one of the most fancy buns. This is called Desvalido. Desvalido with this beautiful bun as well. I mean, the design on the cigars is beautiful. The buns you can see is like a rooster on blue and gold rooster on a blue. The focus is not my friend today. There. I don't think I can show it better. There's something on my sleeve in here. I don't know what's that. So, Dapper is a boutique brand. They celebrate 10 years a couple of years ago. They released them this year, the 10th years anniversary. I still haven't smoked it. I know a bunch of people smoke it and rate it very well. So, looking forward to try some of those. There we go. Epicurean, of course, check about the cigar we were talking earlier. The Dalai Istanbul, Turkish, Dominican, Kentucky air cured. I think the Turkish tobacco is still like air cured. I mean, every Turkish tobacco I've tried is that kind of style. More of a perique pipe style, air cured. Maybe this one is the same. Maybe um, they just didn't they use a normal one. Dapper 10th anniversary was okay, says Kipikurian. Okay. Hermit says La Madrina, only Dapper I had. One of the mixed mystery box. Okay. I mean, the Dapper cigars are actually in UK. They sell a few different lines in UK with one of the smallest importers, like I think it's called Boutique Smokes. So if you guys in UK wants to try them, they're reasonably priced. Just go for it and buy. I think they do La Madrina, Cubo. I'm not sure if they do any other lines. I haven't checked them recently, but yeah, go for it. And the last media release, slightly short of it all, in the Dapper tent. Okay, the last brand I want to talk about, and this will take more time, but it's one of the biggest brands in the world. Of course, we're with the letter D, and we will talk about Davidoff. So, Davidoff, I don't know if there's a people here who have no idea what's a Davidoff. I don't believe so. It's probably the brand which is in most shops, places for selling cigars than any other, even more than Habanos. They're in every airport, in every shop in the States, in every shop in the world, in every duty free. They're everywhere. Davidoff as a company so I'll tell you what I know about the story of the Davidoff, because there's a few different versions in some way of what exactly happening there. The story I know, and I'll tell you, it's from personally I know it from Eddie Sahakian and Edward Sahakian. I did an interview with them a few years ago, and we talk a lot about the Davidoff history. So what they told me, Zino Davidoff is an Zino Davidoff family is from Russia. I think it's with the Armenian background. So they immigrate to Switzerland, and during the wars, obviously Switzerland was more of a neutral country. They didn't basically involve in the war. They were keeping the money for basically everyone who have the money. They throw them in Switzerland in the banks. So Zino's family was in Switzerland. They used to have a cigar shop, and during the Second World War, basically most of the French shops, they sent the cigars to Zino before the war actually get into France. He collected massive amount of Cuban cigars, and he was selling, of course, lots of them. He became a significant name in the industry, selling all those fancy cigars for the Habanos. In some moment, he was approached by Habanos to commemorate his passion and his what he's doing for the cigar industry. And they asked him if he's happy to be cigars to be produced in his name. This was around 1965-66. I think the cigars were officially launched 1968, the Cuban Davidoffs. The beginning, all the lines he released was named after some of the most famous French chateaux for wines. Chateau Diadem, Chateau Yquem. I forgot most of them now. Dom Perignon, Chateau Yquem, Chateau. Wow, honestly, I haven't talked about Davidoff in ages, and I forgot there were 5 or 6 different French chateaus. All cigars named after them. Then they further down they released the 1000 series, which was slightly different. But during all those years, Zino Davidoff never made a single dollar from the cigars on his name, except the profit he do when he sell them. So Habanos didn't give him anything for those cigars; they just used his name, and basically he just get the margin from the cigars he selling. In the late 80s, Zino was already not very happy from the quality of the cigars, so they decided to move his production to Henke Kellner in Dominican Republic. Was already making cigars. One of the brands was actually Avo. In 1991, I think, was the official year when they moved to the Dominican Republic. So on that day, Zino, what he did, all the Cuban Davidos he have in his shop in Geneva, he put them outside and burned them. That's what I've been told. I don't have a picture evidence of that, but basically he burned something in the range of 100,000 cigars, maybe even more, Cuban Davidos, because he wasn't happy with the quality and he want to put his name under something which is not the right quality. Since then, Davidoff are made in Dominican Republic. Further down the line, they bought the rights for the Avo line. They also do Griffin cigars. They do Cusano cigars. And in about 2008, they purchased their factory in Honduras. That was they made a factory in Honduras and they took the license of Camacho. So they continue making Camacho with a different factory. Obviously, Camacho before that was made by a Roa family, which keep the factory, but give the recipes and the rights for the brand to Davidoff. And since 2008, the Davidoff made the Camacho. They also make some other cigars for different people. They make cigars for Caldwell, for a bunch of other guys. But yeah, so Davidoff nowadays, I think is in the range around 40 million cigars. Most of them quite expensive. Even someone throw the question, Jacob throw the question, are they worth the price? I don't know. This is a question where I don't think, for me, I always say $30, $30, £30, €30 is probably the limit for a cigar I think can pay. Everything above that is too much of a greed. I can show you some of the Davidoffs I have around me. There's a few very, very special cigars. I will start with what I have here. This is a box of Davidoff made by Cuba. So this is a Cuban Davidoff, what's considered for a lot of people one of the holy grails. It's not full anymore. Still have quite a few in here. Let's see if I can pull some of them. So this is the number 1 Especial. That's the Lancero. You can see Havana on the side. Same band Davidoff using nowadays. Just with the difference on the side, it doesn't say Cuba, it says Geneva. There's another Lancero which was released not long ago, a couple of years ago. That's the Millennium Lancero. They also released the Signature Lancero, which is slightly bigger. It's a proper Lancero. The Millennium, it wasn't. What I have here, I have a Aniversario number 2, which is a big cigar, like a double Corona. There's another very special box I want to show you. This is again another Cuban box. This is number 2, box of 10. What's interesting on this box, this is my birth year. When I found this box, I knew I need to buy it, and I can tell you the price for that one. So originally the cigar was sold, obviously in that time was sold in Germany, and it cost 320 Deutschmarks for 10 cigars. So that's about 32 Deutschmark. Still super expensive price for 40 years ago. Very expensive. When I purchased the box was full. I used to smoke those every year around my birthday when I was celebrating stuff like that. Unfortunately, now it's only one cigar left. And let me see if I can pull it out. And this is a actually Cuban cigar with cellophane. People say Cuba don't make cigars with cellophane. Well, they used to make them back in the time, not anymore. This is number 2 from the original box. In this box, I have few of the 1000 series, still made by Cuba. This is like Corona Gorda. I have few of those. Also, I have for me one of the most interesting Davidoffs ever made. This is the old Millennium blend. I can see a little bit like a box press. The Millennium is written completely different. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to bring it closer. No focus today. I'm sorry about that. There we go. I still love those cigars, and again, smoke them from time to time. Are the Cuban Davidoffs the best Davidoffs? Probably no. I mean, I think their prime is not here anymore, but they're still smoking like a piece of history and stuff. That's why I still smoke them. There are lots of different Davidoffs nowadays, lots of different limited edition. I have decent amount of Davidoffs, but also, again, I'm not happy with the prices they are. And the last cigars from Davidoff I want to show you. This is something very special for me. So Davidoff, as I show you this box, this is a box when they released last year. It's called Anniversario number 1. And in this box, one of the cigars is this one. This is the Anniversario number 1, the limited edition from last year, 2 years ago. Came in a nice wooden tube. So I'll leave the tube here. So I don't know if you can see. I'll leave it here so you can see it. You'll find out why. Then, about 20 years ago, Davidoff released the same cigar in the Dominican Republic. Let's see if I can pull it out. I haven't get out this cigar in ages. So this is the Davidoff Dominican Republic, which says Anniversario number 1 as well. Slightly yellowish band. The tube is actually slightly shorter. So the cigar is 1.5 inches shorter. I'll put it back and I will show you, compare the tubes. So this is the, I don't know if you can see it next to me. There we go. So this is the difference between the tubes. About 1/2 inch. The cigar is about 1 inch different. So leaving those tubes here. And then I'm going to show you the real special one from those tubes. So this is the same looking tube probably for lots of you, but there's a few differences. So this one here says Davidoff 80th Anniversario on the tube here. And on the bottom of the tube says Made in Cuba. So this cigar officially never been for sale. It's made for the Zinus 80th anniversary birthday dinner in Cuba. As you can see, it says Habana, Cuba. It's too blurry. Let me show you. Only a few hundred of those ones ever made. And again, I don't think this cigar ever was publicly for sale. Same size, slightly shorter than the last year release. And this is the Holy Trinity, what I call them. So the 3 ever releases from Davidoff in this size and shape, 3 different tubes. I don't think lots of people have this collection in this way. Cuban, Dominican, and the last release from Dominican Republic, which is slightly bigger. I don't know. One day I'm gonna smoke this cigar. It's a very special cigar for me. I have it as a gift from a very good friend of mine. I was planning maybe do a video on them or anything. I just don't have the time. and I don't know what kind of video will be. I want to smoke them in close range so I can show them and put them in like one post or one video. But those are like 9-inch cigars, three of them. This is probably 15 hours worth of smoke, maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15 hours worth of smoke or something like that. I don't know. One day maybe I'll do it. It's the 80th anniversary. The Cuban one is a very, very hard to find cigar. And if you find it, I am telling you, it's not a very cheap cigar. I think last time I seen some of that one for sale was in Cavendish number 6. I know they're slightly more expensive, but they were selling it for something in the range of £4,000 for one cigar. I don't know who's paying that kind of money. Not me. I told you, it's a friend. It's a gift from a friend. I will never buy a cigar for £4,000. Doesn't matter what's in the cigar or whatever is the cigar. But yeah, this is some of the interesting Davidoffs I have. Again, I can show you pretty much all the standard productions: Yamasa, Late Hour, Winston Churchill's, limited editions in the last 5-6 years. Year of the different stuff like Dragon, whatever. I'm pretty sure most of you seen them all. So yeah, this is Davidoff. If you have any questions on the Davidoff or some of the cigars, shoot me, throw it there. There's no more new cigars from my collection today. We'll be back on the selection next week, where I'm gonna show you only rare and old cigars. That's in my next alphabetical idea. I was thinking about what people asked last week to do a virtual meeting, and Herf, I think I have an idea how to do it, but I just need to confirm a few more stuff and a date, and I'll let you know next Monday when we're gonna do it. Most likely, because we're discussing to be Saturday. Most likely, we're looking for Saturday, 28th of June, to be our first meeting of the channel, virtual. Probably in Microsoft Teams, because it's free and I don't need to pay subscription for some random site just to have a unlimited call. I'm thinking something like 7 p.m. UK time. I don't know what's in the other time of the world, but that suits me best. And yeah, I can, if you want to pin the date, 28th of June, and I'm planning to do it maybe every last Saturday of the month, so we can, if I'm free and if you guys want to join, have a smoke with me, just talking casual random stuff, not on a recording, not on live, just on a basically virtual meeting. Yeah, the more of you join, the more interesting will be. I will definitely finalize the details next Monday, and I will let you know all. The channel, the link, I'll probably throw the link into the chat, or maybe if you guys want the link for the virtual meeting, just shoot me a message in some of the channels, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and I will give you the link for the smoke. Scan is great. I truly enjoy that one. I have so much more shitty cigars than this one. So honestly, for that budget and cheap cigar, I understand why lots of people prefer it and enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with the cigar. The only thing you can put you off with that curing fire cured tobacco, it's not for everyone, but if you haven't smoked fire cured tobacco, it's not sweet, it's not infused, it doesn't taste like sweets or raspberries or any fancy infusion. It's just extra smoked more of a like the cigar. You forget the cigar in like a smoker. Cigar have that smell of a smoke, of smoked meat, of smoked wood, and that's it. Enough sweetness, enough strength, beautiful smoke. Honestly, the draw and everything is perfect. It's even for a small size. Sometimes when I smoke smaller sizes, they're not heavily filled. The cigars start literally, and this start breaking up in the top when you keep it in your mouth for longer. Um, but this one is still hard as how it was at the beginning. You can see I can easily keep it in my mouth, and it's over an hour and 15 minutes. I still have probably half an hour here. So I know I'm a little bit slow smoker now. Obviously, I'm talking with you guys. I can't just puff as my usual puff, but I light the cigar only once. So I mean I haven't keep it completely unlit for longer. And yeah, I think one of those proper my time smoking, I would say hour and a half, maybe hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how they give them 40 minutes recommended smoking time. I just don't believe this is real. Maybe if you cut it in half, how sometimes people do, share it with someone. You can smoke them from both ways. You can cut it at half on the widest part. That's what usually people in the military used to do. Just cut it in half and smoke it in two quicker smokes. But great smokes. I truly enjoyed. I enjoyed the conversation with you guys. You've been very, very chatty tonight. I like the questions and everything. Yeah, Jacob say 40 minutes for you. Well, try to slow down sometimes. I always say if you smoke fast and if you smoke slow, it's a very different experience. I know some of you have the habit to smoke faster. It's fine, but just try sometimes to pace yourself and start smoking slowly. See, that might change the experience for you. Sometimes I'm in a rush. I light a cigar and I need to do something. I rush in. I don't enjoy it that much. I told you I smoke 6x60, nicely heavily packed cigar over 21 grams of tobacco, and I finish it in an hour and 15 minutes. I was not intentionally chasing it. I mean, I was doing some other stuff and I just keep puffing, and I didn't realize the cigar is almost finished after an hour and something. And this was a 6x60, which for me is 2.5 hours smoke usually. So sometimes when you have the time to think, just try to pace yourself. Um, Buy one of those small sand watches where they're like 30 seconds or something, and you just every 30 seconds turn it, puff, turn it, puff, turn it, puff. See how long you can go like that, and see if you have a different experience. It's all about changing something and try different stuff. But again, if you want to smoke it in 40 minutes, smoke it in 40 minutes. If you enjoy it that way, it's just I'm trying to give you another idea how you can get something different from the cigar you already know and you already smoked. I'm not going to bother you anymore with my funny ideas. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun, and I will see you all hopefully next week, next Monday, same time, same channel, where we're gonna smoke something. I actually planning to do another tasting session with something. So I'm gonna choose a few different spirits, and we're gonna do a proper sampling session. Yeah, I still hasn't decided what we're gonna sample. Maybe whiskeys, maybe rum, maybe cognacs, maybe a cocktail. We'll see. Have fun, guys. Stay smoky, smoke your cigars as usual. Don't keep them for too long. They might be getting rubbish, or maybe someone else will smoke them. Stay smoky, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.